Welcome, everyone, to Stocks to Watch, our exclusive one-on-one series with executives to help you make informed investment decisions. I'm Ashley Berry, and we're welcoming Ken MacLeod, President, CEO, and Director of Sonoro Gold Corp, a junior gold exploration, development, and soon-to-be gold producer with properties in the mining-friendly jurisdiction of Sonora, Mexico. Sonoro Gold Corp is trading on the TSXV as SGO, the OTCQB in the U.S. as SMOFF, and the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as 23SP. Looking forward to our conversation today, Kenneth. Welcome.
Thank you, Ashley. It's great to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure. So, Ken, let's start out maybe with an overview of your current projects and your exploration approach. And if you would, maybe elaborate a little bit on the measures you implement to reduce costs for these projects.
By all means. The Cerro Caliche Project in Sonora State, in northwestern Mexico, is our main focus at this point in time. We've been drilling and advancing the project now since 2018, and we currently have just under 500,000 ounces of gold and gold equivalent within what we call the pit shells that we intend to mine. And of this gold, the recovery rate is 72%. So in the fields, so that when we actually mine it, it ends up at around 300,000 ounces. So it's a great start to our project. And we've developed a mine plan that will take advantage of this resource and provide us with early cash flow by going to production as soon as we get the environmental permit approved, which we anticipate could be any time. It could be in the next month or could be a little bit longer. But once we have that in hand, it will give us the impetus to go ahead and close off the project financing and build the mine. And building the mine is a very simple task. Currently, the mine is planned for a 9-year life of mine, but it's a start of the journey. We consider that to be the phase one of a multi-phase journey to build this mine and build up the resource to its maximum value. So by going into production early and starting off relatively small, we can generate cash flow and then devote the cash flow to additional drilling to eventually prove it up. And if we consider ourselves right now to be just under 500,000 ounces of gold within the pit shells, we believe that we can add a significant amount of value by additional drilling over the coming 2 to 3 years. And we've always considered that the potential for the project is as much as 2 million ounces. But that can only be demonstrated with additional drilling.
To me, it sounds like you're almost ahead of schedule. I think that's fantastic. Also sounds like truly efficient operations with significant potential on the return. Right, Ken?
The returns are very robust. As we stand today, we have at $1,800 gold, which was the base case we employed in a recent preliminary economic assessment, or PEA as it's known. This provided us with a 45% internal rate of return. And that is a very significant rate of return for a mining project. And you can compare that to most of the current mining projects that are being provided for investment purposes around the world. And 45% is a strong return. However, at $2,000 gold, that internal rate of return goes up to 77%. And that's where we're at today. In fact, today we're trading at $2,000. So we consider that as the gold market improves over the coming year and a half, and we believe that staying over $2,000 for gold is a distinct possibility or probability for 2024, we should be able to take advantage of that. And once we have the environmental permit approved and build the mine, then we convert from an exploration company to a production company. And the metrics then for valuing our share price will be very, very different. We'll be judged by the amount of revenue we produce. And therefore, we believe that it'll be a much more robust, much more attractive investment for investors at that point in time.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say it certainly sounds attractive. So you talked about phase one. Let's look a little bit further down the road, the subsequent steps in the exploration program to further develop the project and perhaps enhance its potential value, which already sounds, as we said, very attractive. Maybe in addition, you could talk a little bit about your burn rate and if you have the necessary liquidity to proceed.
Well, the share price is currently, in everybody's opinion, is undervalued. You know, the market for gold stocks and gold exploration stocks has been extremely depressed in the past few years, and there's been a divergence between the value of gold, the price of gold, which is $2,000 now, and the metrics by which the gold stocks are valued, and there's been a tremendous divergence in that. As the gold price went up, the price of the gold stocks went down. Now, at some point, there will be a realization that the gold stocks are grossly undervalued, and in general, the rising tide will lift all ships. But we also believe that we have a distinct advantage as well, because we are going to go into production. The plan is to build this mine and then capitalize on the cash flow to increase the revenue and increase the size of the resource, increase the life of the mine, increase the throughput, and in general, increase the economics of the project as we go through it without suffering additional dilution or unnecessary dilution to the shareholders by continuing to secure equity financings. So we are in a very, very good position there. And we believe that with the burn rate currently, it's very, very modest because we are not drilling today, so we're able to keep the costs down to a minimum. But we are keeping our staff in Mexico employed, and we do the field work at this point that's necessary in order to keep the operation going, and the head office costs are kept to a minimum as well. So we've been very, very frugal, and out of necessity to a great extent, which will stand us in good stead as we go forward. And when the market does turn around, that frugality will lead us into a much more much more robust operation and a stronger team going forward. So we believe that 2024 will be a very tremendous year for Sonoro as we move forward with the Cerro Caliche project.
Fantastic. You know, you mentioned your team. This all made possible by that hard work, dedication of your team. And you're also mentioning really that so many very interesting nuggets and points about your company, about what you found, about the preliminary economic assessment. To me, it all sounds like a win-win. So somebody who's actually watching this and learning about Sonoro Gold for the first time and considering to invest, would you say now is the right time and to keep this company on their radar?
Well, I was just mulling over that recently, and it is absolutely the best time to invest. We are making that transition from exploration to production. There will be an enhancement of the value of the company based upon that. But the other thing as well is we're now undergoing a tax loss season in North America. And the people that are selling out right now, I believe, will provide a great opportunity for new investors to come in. And we see that in the market. The volume has picked up, and the share price has remained constant, and the plus or minus 8 cent range. And so it's a tremendous value for any investor to come in at this point in time, especially when you consider that the net present value for the project right now at $2,000 gold is over $77 million US, which is over $100 million Canadian. And the market capitalization of the company as it's trading today is approximately $14 million Canadian. So there is a great potential for any investor who comes in now to realize a good rate of return over the coming years.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of great milestones in the very near future, especially as we enter 2024. Ken MacLeod, President, CEO, and Director of Sonoro Gold Corp, thank you so much for talking with us again. They're trading on the TSXV as SGO. We look forward to hearing more updates for you and sharing them right here on Stocks to Watch.
Thank you, Ashley. It's a great pleasure talking to you again.